everyone, my name is Jason, aka Bacon Chest, coach of the St Kilda Superiors. Welcome to Week 10 of the MLBA Season 3 versus Loosey Goosey and the Chicago Bibarels. This is our first rematch that we're actually going to be uploading, well, first rematch that we actually played, because we were meant to have a rematch against Carney Hobo and the Vancouver Stealth Rocks, but Carney seems to have gone missing in action. I'm imagining it's because he's quite busy with the NPL D-League. Or NPL Minors, I should say. And so yeah, this is going to be the first one of our rematches. We'll also have a rematch against Hat and the Portland Trailblazers, which, if we do manage to do well going into these last few weeks, should be the match that decides who wins our division, which should be really exciting. But first we have to get through these first weeks 9, 10, and 11, potentially week 8 if Carney does make a comeback, but certainly weeks 9, 10, and 11. I'm going to be recording all of these today, so you're going to get 3 videos. I know that it has been a while. I just realized I've already recorded week 9 at this point, so I've already said all this. But yeah, so let's get into this week 10 matchup. If you remember our last game against the Chicago Bibarels, we got quite lucky to win, banking off a Hydro Pump miss, and when my opponent could have actually just clicked T-Bolt and won the game, guaranteed. We also got really lucky on Failzone. We were actually a speed tie against a Scarf Hiligo with our Scarf Infernape, because of some bad prep on our part. So yeah, overall quite lucky, quite a lucky win. So yeah, this is a pretty tough matchup. My opponent has a team consisting of Celesteela, Nihiligo, Rotomwash, Donphan, Uxie, Entei, Shaman, Druddigon, Sylveon, and Bidoof, with Celesteela, Uxie, Shaman, Druddigon, and Bidoof having access to Z moves. Z Celesteela is coming to this matchup. That's just guaranteed. It's a massive threat to my team. I don't know what Z move it'll be, and that is why we do have this Blastoise. I don't expect it to be Gracium Z, because Gracium Z doesn't really make a lot of sense against most of my team. I'm expecting like Steelium, Firium, Groundium, like one of those, or maybe even Rockium for Tornadus, like one of those. But anyway, this Blastoise is pretty good, because if it's relatively healthy, then it can tank a, even like a +1 move, like a +1 Energy Ball, or a +1 Seed Bomb from a Celesteela, Dragon Tail that thing out, and that gets rid of its Autotomized boost. So once it's been chipped away, and like presumably I popped whatever berry it's running, either like a Wakan or Oka, then yeah, like it'll be much less of a threat. It won't be able to set up on anything in my team. So, that's the main role for Blastoise in this matchup. The other thing that Blastoise does, it tanks a hit from Nihiligo and is able to KO with Waterfall. That's why we've got Waterfall and Attack Investment. Ice Punch can hit the things like the Shaman and the Druddigon pretty hard. So yeah, pretty simple set. Basically a don't lose to Celesteela button, don't lose to Nihiligo button. And Scald for the Donphan. Then we have a Choice Scarf Infernape coming back once again. This time we have the right speed EVs such that we outspeed a Scarf max speed Scarf Nihiligo, so that's really handy. Close Combat Flare Blitz Earthquake U-Turn. I probably should have run Mark Punch in one of these slots over like Earthquake or U-Turn. I mean, obviously Earthquake is good because it like KOs any variant of Nihiligo and hits the Entei a bit harder than Close Combat does. Actually, no it doesn't, because Close Combat is 180... Yeah, no, Earthquake does hit slightly harder. Which would be nice, but I do think that either giving up momentum or giving up that little bit of extra damage with Earthquake might have been useful to have a Mark Punch just in the back, for something like Nihiligo that's speed boosted, or Celesteela that has gotten completely out of control. With like a +4 Autotomize or something like that. So yeah, but aside from that, Close Combat Flare Blitz should be able to revenge a large portion of my opponent's team. We've then got Salamence, a big offensive threat in this game. Fire MZ, Fire Fang, Dragon Claw, Earthquake, Dragon Dance. At +1 we can blow through pretty much my opponent's entire team, except for maybe the Sylveon. But my thing with the Sylveon is, if my opponent does bring it, which I don't really expect, because I bring Metagross like pretty much every week, and I love Metagross, so I expect my opponent to kind of be like, Sylveon's not very good against a Metagross. Especially AV Metagross, which I bought reasonably frequently. And so I do kind of expect my opponent to leave Sylveon home. If Sylveon does come, I don't expect it to be the initial switch in, just because +1 Iron Tail is so obvious and just like blows back any variant of Sylveon. And so my thought is that if I can have the Sylveon chipped, or if I've got Rocks up, and I kill something off, because I am running Moxie over Intimidate this week, will then be at +2, and +2 Earthquake blows back Sylveon, most variants of Sylveon. So yeah, that was kind of the aim there. Or even if we have our Fire MT still available, which I don't expect, because we'll probably have used it to get rid of Shaman or Celesteela, just to set up our sweep in the first place. But if we haven't, then we can always use that to blow back a Sylveon as well. So yeah, this thing's pretty solid in this matchup. We then have Life Orb, Tapu Koko, Thunderbolt, Dazzling Gleam, Grass Knot, U-Turn. Life Orb, Thunderbolt, I think guarantees us the KO on Celesteela, which is nice, and also obviously just generally does more damage. Particularly useful for things like the Rotom W and the Uxie, which we did have trouble breaking through last time, so this is a much better breaker in this game. And Dazzling Gleam will do a ton to Druddigon, and is just generally, like, Fairy Stab's really good neutrally against my opponent's team. Like, Entei and Celesteela do not want to switch in, fearing an Electric Terrain boosted T-Bolt. And my opponent's ground type in the form of Donphan doesn't take Dazzling Gleams all that well. Things like, something like Dazzling Gleam into Grass Knot can definitely KO. Or I can just U-turn out on that thing, so that's also really, really handy. I don't know what this investment is for, this HP and defense. It's for something. I played this game a while ago. Might be delivered extreme speed after rocks from Banded Entei. That's like the only thing that comes to mind at first glance. But anyway, moving on. And we have 72. Oh, no. So 72 HP was so we only take 29 points of Life Orb damage. That was why. And then the extra defense over special defense was because my opponent does have extreme speed. On the Entei, and I shard on the Donphan. Yes, there we go. Moving on to Tornadus T. This is an Assault Vest set. Speed is for Nihilego on everything on this team, pretty much. And Hurricane, Heat Wave, Sludge Bomb, U-Turn. The cool thing about this is, whilst it doesn't really do anything to Nihilego, it does confirm whether or not my opponent is Scarf. 100% guaranteed, even if they're max speed Timid. Which I do kind of expect them to run max speed Timid regardless of whether or not they're Scarf in this game, after what happened last time. But yeah, this can, like, guaranteed lives a Scarf Power Gem. Maybe not after rocks, but that's fine. Yeah, generally pretty good against my opponent's team. Can do good damage to the Celesteela, good damage to the Sylveon and the Shaman. Sludge Bomb is there because we can potentially hit the Rotom and potentially poison that thing on a switch in, which is pretty nice because we don't have particularly good ways of breaking that thing down. And last but not least, we're bringing back our Sugarberry Metagross to take on the Celesteela. Thunder Punch, if we do have the Electric Terrain still up, although we don't have the Terrain Extender this time, will do a lot of damage. Bullet Punch is there so that we can always revenge the Nihilego, and then Rocks and Toxic. Rocks are just good generally against my opponent's team, and Toxic is really nice for the Rotom Wash. And also the Uxie. So, let's get into the game. As you can see, my opponent brings the Uxie, the Entei, the Rotom Wash, the Celesteela, the Druddigon, and the Donphan. So I'm going to lead off with Tapu Koko, because I don't expect my opponent to lead Donphan, given that I have brought the Blastoise, given how much of a problem I had with Donphan lead last time. I expect my opponent to expect my Blastoise lead. So, I'm just going to lead off with Koko. As my opponent leads off with Rotom, this is great. I can fire off a Dazzling Gleam, get good damage off on Rotom, and as I've sort of already stated, my opponent doesn't have good switch-ins. Brings out the Druddigon, probably expecting T-Bolt or U-Turn, as I'm able to get rid of this Druddigon on turn 2, so that's really, really nice. That's one of my opponent's, like, 4 bulky mons, so Uxie, Donphan, and Rotom being the others. If we can get rid of those, that's going to be really nice. We get U-turn damage off on the Donphan as it revealed to be Rocky Helmet, so we're down to 55, which is a bit unfortunate, because I do believe we're now in range of Banded Extreme Speed, but that's okay, as the Donphan knocks off our Assault Vest, which is a bit yikes, but we don't really have any other switch-ins to that thing, so, you know, that's really all we can do there. We fire off Scald, get a little bit of shift damage off on the Uxie, which is nice. That's actually really handy, because we need chip damage off on this thing. He gets up rocks. I'm going to take this opportunity to get up my own rocks, I believe. As my opponent goes for the Foul Play, which does a lot of damage to our Metagross, which is unfortunate, but, you know, what are we going to do? And you can see that I've kind of played this early game fairly poorly, where my opponent has managed to now get rid of my Metagross and gotten rid of the Assault Vest from my Blastoise. So, yeah, not great. In terms of, like, worrying signs in terms of Celesteela. We miss a Hurricane there, which is actually really frustrating, because, and my opponent crits the Foul Play. So my Tornadus is really weakened now, and we do get a crit Hurricane back in return, but that doesn't really matter, because it didn't kill, oh no, actually, that does matter. Yeah, no, so that's actually fine, because, I mean, whilst we would have liked that extra 8% that we would have had from U-Turn, 2 Hurricanes would have knocked out the Uxie, and yeah, like the fact that my opponent has that Uxie in the back as an extra sack is a bit annoying. My opponent's able to bring out the Don Fan. I'm really expecting Ice Shard here, as my opponent does make a really good play and just goes for the Rapid Spin, knowing that I believe they would probably have lived a Hurricane. I don't know what their set was exactly. As I just click Scald, knowing that I kind of had to at that point. Probably, yeah, I didn't have Rapid Spin on this set, did I? So that's a bit unfortunate. My opponent goes for the Light Screen with the Rotom as I bring out Tornadus actually just kind of as a sack, because it wasn't really that useful at this point in the game, but works out pretty well because we're actually able to get Tornadus back up to a reasonable amount of health. As I go into Salamence on the Volt Switch as my opponent brings out the Celesteela. Thankfully, we are Fire Fang rather than Fire Blast here, so this is going to do a lot of damage, even with the Occa Berry. It does 38%. I realize what I... yeah, what I should have done here. As you can see that my opponent clicks 2 Autotomizers, and that's basically going to be the beginning of the end, because what I actually should have done here was clicked Fire Fang and then clicked the Fire Fang. And the reason for that, and what I should have realized, is that my opponent was obviously going to run the Occa Berry this game, so that they didn't die to Scarf Inferno. And I literally thought about that in prep, and that was why I had the 2 big fire moves. What I should have realized was that my opponent would have known that I'd be Scarf, and could then just click the Autotomize twice on something that couldn't 2-hit KO it with the Occa Berry, and then just win the game. And if I had just clicked Fire Fang first, and then saved DC Fire Fang for next turn, my opponent could not have gotten 2+4. And then I would have either killed off the Celesteela with no damage, with still having my Ments around, which would have been amazing, or my opponent kills Salamence, and then I can bring out my Infernape and Revenge with that. As it stands, I did neither of those things. Oh, like, I didn't do that thing. My opponent's able to get to +4 on my additional Fire Fang, which does 46, which is not enough damage. It would have been enough damage if I'd had Mach Punch in the back on my Scarf Infernape, but as it stands, my opponent's able to click the Heavy Slam, and that's going to be good game. My only chance here is that Blastoise, I believe, actually had a chance to live that hit, depending on my opponent's set. At +1, and if we were able to just click the Waterfall there, that was a guaranteed KO, and that would have potentially put us back into the game. I don't really think we had that much of a chance at that point. I'm fairly certain Banded Extreme Speed from Entei probably cleaned us up, but, you know, it would have at least lowered differential a bit. But now that's going to be game over, as my opponent's just going to be able to, yeah, just going to be able to clean me up with Acrobatics and Heavy Slam. So yeah, bit of an unfortunate win. Yeah, as my opponent says in the chat, Bandit Entei probably would have cleaned up still. That's fair call. I let my defensive walls get weakened earlier in the game, but yeah, as I said, if I had managed to Fire Fang into Z Fire Fang, I had Blastoise there to take a hit from Banded Extreme Speed from Entei. But obviously, with the combination of Rotom and Entei, that would have been really, really hard. But we would have had a little bit of a chance. That's okay. I have learned a few things from this match. I think we should be able to deal with this team a little bit better in future if we do have to encounter it in playoffs. Lucy Goosey is making a bit of a run late in the season to potentially make a playoff spot. Depending on... Ooh, they'd be really struggling to make that wildcard spot. Over someone in our other division in our conference, which I'm assuming is how this works, but I'm not actually sure. But yeah, if so, then I really don't want to face this team, because I think it's probably one of my worst matchups in the entire league. Like, it's really weird. I feel like I have quite good matchups against some of the like really, really top teams, like Shuckle Kings and the whatever that Lele disgusting Lele Mega Alakazam team is. Like, I think I can beat both those teams, but I don't think I can beat this one very easily, at least. But we'll see. Hopefully we can bring, maybe if we do come up against this team in playoffs, bring some more innovative sets. But yeah, so that leaves us at 5-4 with a question mark, potentially 6-4 if we did get the forfeit win over Carney Hobo. After 10 weeks, with 2 weeks left in the season, we need one more win these last 2 games to pretty much clinch playoffs, and if we can get 2 wins, then we will get #1 seed, and, you know, be like, I think 3rd best record overall if we get if we finish 8-4, which would be, you know, really nice. That'd be really nice to finish top 3 in a 16-team league. So yeah, that's about it from me. So until next time, peace.